For the Interrobang, I'm Gracia Espinosa, and welcome to this episode on the Red Couch podcast to Briana Brissett and Livia Andrade. Well, you already know that the topic of our podcast is Black Month history, but instead of me introducing you, I would like you to introduce yourselves. Where are you from? What you have studied? So who is going to be the first one?
Okay, hi, good morning. My name is Livia Andrade. I just completed a project management course December, and I'm scheduled to start a new course, postgraduate course in business analysis. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey everyone, my name is Briana.
Hey.
Hey, and I am a graphic designer here at Fanshawe Student Union. I actually graduated from my program last May, and I am currently working towards character design and animation. So for my style, I definitely focus on Black characters and Black history as a part of my art style. So I'm definitely excited to talk about things today and hopefully learn a couple things as well.
Yeah, thank you, girls. So obviously my first question or my first thought, it will be about history of the Black Month. So I would like to know what is your opinion about this event, this month, because I don't know, for example, Livia, you are from Jamaica, so I don't know if in your hometown you reivindicate this month too, or what is your opinion about that?
Okay, in Jamaica, we tend to have, I would say it's more pronounced in the schools. So it's shown in terms of educational programs and activities that would be promoted. I think there is a certain level of improvement that is required, especially with, as it relates to the media and what the government does in terms of trying to promote Black History Month. But at the same time, I would say it's more pronounced in the schools in comparison to the Western countries such as the United States, where they probably have a lot more activities and fundraisers and events. We don't have as much, and of course we're just basically, we're an island and we're a developing country, so that is also part of it. But at the same time, there is not a full emphasis. So there is a level of improvement that we could actually have in Jamaica.
Yeah, because recently in all the schools of Canada, they are going to implement the Black Month history, with events and more education. So what is your thought, Brian? I don't know, when you studied in the high school, you knew about the Black History Month, or you recently discovered about this?
Yeah, so I was just talking about this before we started here, but I am Jamaica, so my dad's actually born in Jamaica, and my mom was born in Canada, and so I've actually never been able to visit back home in Jamaica. So my education is growing up here in Canada and kind of in London specifically, and growing up with that. So going back to the student life in school, elementary school, I don't remember kind of having any of those days where we had even a chat about Black History Month. And then moving into high school, there was a little bit more, but not as much as I personally would have liked to seen, just for the students that were there. And then Fanshawe was probably one of the biggest changes for me as a Black Canadian, coming here and just having so many people to talk to, coming from different countries and having their stories of just stuff I've never heard about, never seen about. I'm definitely been able to take all of that and really educate myself, even today. And just this month, especially, just learning about my heritage, my family. It's been really important to learn
It's
more.
interesting because, when I was on TikTok, one of my favorite apps, I saw something interesting because there are people who consider that Latinos who were born in the United States, we cannot call them Latinos because, they are Americans. So, in your case, Briana, you had any concerns or problems about your identity? I mean, I don't know if sometimes people say that you are not Canadian, but you're not Jamaican, or you had that concerns about your identity. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm curious because, when I saw this about on TikTok, I was like, oh wow, I didn't thought about that because I was born in Spain. My parents are from Spain. So what about you, Brianna?
Yeah, I definitely have sometimes like I've definitely been bullied growing up, like in elementary school.
Yeah?
Just I've was probably one of the only black children like in my grade or class from like grade 4 to maybe grade 9.
But you are so young.
Yeah,
I mean,
and like
you are younger than me.
yeah, so I must have
Than
been like 13, younger than that, and just the people around me really like to make a lot of jokes, even like growing up
Wow.
with relationships and like they would say like my first boyfriend was like a night rider because like I was his like black girlfriend, and that was honestly in like grade maybe 4 or 5 or 6. Like those are kind of the memories that I have, and like growing up, it did start to get a lot better because I was able to stand up for myself and understand like more about myself and be proud of it. But there are still times like I'm even walking down the street in London and I'll be yelled out the car like, go back to your country for doing simple tasks,
No
or
way.
someone talking to me as if I don't necessarily understand English or that I'm from somewhere else, like just assuming. And that's kind of the assumption thing's probably the biggest thing, is assuming that I'm not from London when I've been here my whole life is probably
Wow.
one of the biggest things that I experience personally. Yeah.
Livia, with these kind of comments, I don't know if you had the same feeling. I mean, since you are here, because when did you come to London, Livia?
In 2023, May.
During this last year, the beginning of this one, I mean, I don't know if you had any kind of problem or someone said something against you or about your roots or...
Experience. I didn't have that experience last year, and I haven't had it so far. But also I'm much older at this stage. I have had the opportunity to live in the US for about a year as a child. And I did experience bullying and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
So I do understand what Brianna is talking about. But coming from Jamaica, where we're a majority in terms of black people, I haven't experienced that focus in terms of any levels of racism, or it's more, in Jamaica, it's more classism that you'd probably experience. Being here at Fanshawe and even experiencing other places in Canada, I've not really experienced a situation where I'm uncomfortable. I must say, though, I know that other persons have experienced it, especially trying to get jobs. It appears that there is some sort of inequity, but it is something that it is. I would not say that it is something that is researched. It is more in appearance that it appears that there's some inequity.
I don't know if you want to add something about this, Brianna, or...
Not on that topic.
No. Well, because right now, obviously, my question is if Fanshawe is doing, good things. So this institution could do more for not only this month, all the year for students like you girls.
Oh yeah, especially like even like the work that your team does when you guys are writing the articles and really pushing out those stories and talking to like the students and people in London, just from everywhere really, and bringing like a different perspective to Fanshawe is really helpful. And like the last 4 years now that I've been at Fanshawe, I've really been able to learn a lot and be grateful for like the kind of people that are around, and like just I've learned so much that Fanshawe has definitely been really great for that.
Well, you have just mentioned about our team, the Interrobang, the official media of Fanshawe Student Union. And of course, our last newspaper was related, a focus to the Black History Month. But I would like to know, for example, I understand that you did the cover inspired in the roots of your family, and because the cover, for people who didn't see it or who didn't check the website, all the covers inspired by the colors of the flag, right, Livia? Yeah, the yellow, green, black, and of course there is a lion. For example, why the lion means? Why you decided to choose the lion?
The lion, actually, me and our editor Hannah had a quick conversation about the lion. I just felt like that was kind of like the Rasta kind of thing was a symbol of Jamaica, but also I am personally like the Leo/lion as my horoscope. So that kind of all combined. We were just pushing every type of personality we could put in this piece, and so yeah, that was the choice there.
And we can see a CD and a cassette. You indicate this the music from Jamaica or
100%, yes. This is representing reggae music, the culture, the food, everything that I could possibly pour from my heart is I tried to incorporate into this piece here.
But I don't know if we missed something in this cover, Livia, as a person from Jamaica, or something very characteristic from your country and people like me don't know.
I actually liked the cover. The only thing is I'm not sure if other persons from other countries who experience the same thing that we have experienced, I'm not sure if they would they would probably feel left out because it probably just embraces Jamaica. But for the most part, it's a very nice cover in terms of it's actually embracing what Jamaica means in just one go in this one picture, and it's beautiful. But in terms of Black history, I think other persons might feel like they have somehow been left out. Other countries that have experienced it, Haiti, other countries that the U.S., where you might have had situations of where Black people were
I understand
adversely affected.
your opinion, but at the same time, I mean, the Black History Month is not only related, how I can say this, I mean, all the people are Black or white or are from China, so I don't know, Briana, if you can explain if someone said something about the cover or someone felt that this not represent the Black History Month, so...
Yeah, of course. I think your point's definitely important to mention, as I would personally feel left out if it was anything like but Jamaica, obviously, because that's my roots. With this this piece though, I did have the creative decisions there, and with that, I kind of wanted people to have a conversation. So initially, I wanted to have all these colors and really pop, and kind of people ask questions, maybe get into the newspaper and read a little bit more. Hopefully about the background of my art, and then you can go into researching. You can learn all about Black History Month, regardless if you are Black or white or anything. You're going to be influenced and hopefully inspired to just learn more about Black History Month in general. And for those people that aren't Jamaican, it's still I wish I could obviously incorporate all of us and everything that is important for Black History Month. But yeah, this was simply just to go back to my heritage, and I just didn't want people to feel left out at all.
No, of course. I mean, for me, it's very interesting because honestly, when I am studying, I don't see Black personalities in the history. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Rihanna.
No, another thing I was just going to point out, we were talking about the release of the One Love movie coming out today with Bob Marley. So that I've seen even on social media, it's being brought up a lot. There are a lot of people listening to the new music and bringing back kind of the whole culture. Even the last couple of days, I'm seeing so much just strong Jamaican love. So I think that was really cool to incorporate as well for this month and kind of that release. Maybe teaching new generations of not only Bob Marley, but everything.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, Bob Marley is super important in Jamaica, but...
Yes, and I also wanted to say that Bob Marley, he actually expressed love, and love not just for your own race, which is the Black race, but for all races. And so... that level of unity is very important, and for us to even move forward as a people. So I think that was also something that I saw from this picture for the magazine for this month, for the month of February. I'm saying automatically I was thinking about Bob Marley and the fact that a movie is coming out that's promoting the reggae music and the culture, and not just the culture, but the unity in terms of everybody coming together and recognizing that we're just one people.
And I'm going to say something. Do you know what is the origin of the reggaeton, the typical Latin music right now? From reggae. Reggaeton comes from reggae. So thanks to reggae, we have reggaeton right now in all the Latin club here. I don't know if you knew that. No, because I mean reggaeton was took the rhythms of the reggae to create another one. So thanks to your culture, your people, we have reggaeton. So I really appreciate that.
Awesome. Look at that. Learn something new.
But another important person or personality from Jamaica that is very important. I mean, because I only know Bob Marley, but I don't know if there is another personality or person important that I could know. I could do a research by myself. Or
Yeah, so for me personally, like growing up, I was really more into like I've shown a lot of music, so I know more so artists, musical artists. But I'm gonna hand this over and maybe we can get.
Okay. Well, the thing is that because reggae music Jamaica is really known for reggae music, so we would have a lot of artists that are driving the music across the world, particularly mainly Bob Marley at the time, and now we have different versions or different forms of music that actually comes from reggae music, which is like what we refer to as dancehall music. But at the same time, at the core for our history as black people in Jamaica, we actually have national heroes, and these are persons who fought for the freedom of the slaves. Just like in the U.S. you'd have Harriet Tubman, Jamaica has several heroes, persons who fought rebellion, fought in the rebellions against the
do you remember one of the names of
yes,
the
we do.
personalities?
We have Paul Bogle, we have Marcus Garvey. In Africa, a number of the nations in Africa are familiar with Marcus Garvey. We do also have Nanny of the Maroons. She was also very integral in trying to fight for the cause of freeing black people in Jamaica. And so we do have a history that led up to our emancipation, and definitely the music is what eventually brought the unity amongst the people. But at the end of the day, at the core, we do have those heroes which are well celebrated. We have specific times of the month. It's not really during Black History. We have a period where we celebrate the heroes of our country, and that's usually in October.
Oh.
But so it's not a deep focus in terms of Black History in the month of February for Jamaica, but we do have a period that we celebrate our heroes because they are the persons that fought for the freedom of the people in Jamaica.
And Brianna, I don't know if you know someone here from London or from Canada who fought for the freedom of the black people here in Canada. Or
I honestly wish I did, but I'm still learning myself. Those
That's a good point. I'm still learning.
Yeah, I'm still learning.
That's super cool. I mean, in my case, I love to discover, for example, one of my favorite movies. I don't know if you know something. It's kindly real story. The movie is Belle, and it's about the real. I mean, they don't have the real story, but it's a real person. The first, we can say, Duchess, Black Duchess in United Kingdom, and she has the only picture in which she is with another white woman. I mean, from the royalty together, and it's the only picture that you can find in UK like that. So yeah, and I like to find that kind of figures, because I mean, we forgot a lot of important personalities, black personalities who did a lot for the medicine, for the music. Oh my gosh. So I mean, for me, it's enough, but I don't know if you would like to say something before we close this podcast, like a final words, final thoughts.
Yeah, so my dog that I've had for 17 years, his name is Buju Banton. So Buju Banton's probably one of the artists that I highly recommend you listen to after this podcast. Just go have some fun and put on a playlist of some good hits.
Basically just saying it was nice having this chat and this discussion, and I am looking forward to more improvements in actually bringing across the whole history of the whole black history and what it means for people in the month of February. Continue to try as a people in Fanshawe to try and bring it forth. That's just all I would want to say in terms of trying to carry it across and carry our points across.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, of course, for listening to another episode of the Red Couch podcast. You can catch up with every episode on our website or wherever you get your podcast. Watch full episodes on our YouTube channel and subscribe to our newsletter to keep up with Fanshawe. For the Interrobang, I'm Gracia Espinosa.